is here.
Oh, yay.
She slept in the bathtub last night, but she said it was comfy.
Well,
Me and Pat were fine with her sleeping on the bed, but like she asked, she didn't care, and I was like, okay, I'll make the bathtub all nice. So we put like a bunch of blankets down. And we had this big old teddy bear,
yeah.
and so we laid it down and made it nice.
That sounds cozy, honestly.
Yeah, she has a nice bathtub.
Hi.
It's like one of those corner ones. It's
Yeah.
like jacuzzi. Is she gonna get lost? Do I have to get time?
Hi. Welcome. Hi, Zeph. Again. Good to see you 3 times today. Yes, you can.
Oh, they're gone.
I think there's 2 girls that just went in there.
Yeah, so we gotta wait.
Yeah.
Do you have the context signature? Okay, I will use water. I have to go to the bathroom to go to the bathroom.
I feel like there's too many girls in there right now, but
We could go in there and be all teachery and do it. I went in.
you know, there was a time that I used to really enjoy doing that. I feel like the joy's just been sucked out of it for me. I used to love to like be mean to little children.
Same. They're not even little, they're like middle, they're like 8th grade.
They're like 8th
I
grade.
want to go in and scare the 8th graders. I think they're cool. Sorry. I walked into the bathroom. Nice man. Thank you. Nice man. I walked into the bathroom, and the girls actually thought I was a teacher. Like some middle schoolers thought I was a teacher, and I was like, yes. Can I go in there and do that? Giant X on my t-shirt. I was a teacher. Can I go in there and be like, hey?
No, because you're a student too.
I'd be like, my name is. Kept calling me weird last period. Why? I don't know. You're weird.
I mean, I think it's a compliment. I would be mad if someone said I was not weird.
I think she texted me about it. She's mad.
You're right. I don't think they used it. Now let's see who actually has e-hall passes to be in there. Not that I know any of those children's names. I don't. Only one person should be in there. Only one person has a pass. Mm-hmm.
How do we do a pass thing again?
On e-hall pass.
I've never had to do a pass before, so what is a pass?
On ehallpass.com, and you log in with your Google info, and then I approve it. I've only got 2 people in the waiting room. Okay, here's 3. One, two, three, four, 5. We're still missing a few. Hello, folks.
Hello. James, show us the baseball field or the stadium. Show us the stadium.
It just has a
So, yeah,
time.
we were never able to go.
Like,
Well, what the?
We weren't able to go. We thought we could go to practice, but
it ends
they're not
when
allowing it this
when you
year.
come back and I end it.
Oof.
Yeah, I know.
And
See.
what is this time?
You watch that movie, I Care a Lot.
Bum, 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 bum.
Hear me?
What are you talking?
Yeah, I was talking to Cece. I was asking the question, did she watch the movie I Care a Lot?
Oh no, because I don't just be doing that like that after school. Here's what I do after school for everybody, because it's usually the same thing literally every single day. I get off the computer. I go into the bathroom and I stay in there for about 30 to an hour. Then I leave the bathroom and then I sit down and I watch TV for about maybe another hour. Then I either cook or my mom has made something and I eat. Then it's about like maybe 7 o'clock at this point. Then I watch TV. I play Minecraft on my phone for about 30 minutes or until I get sick. Then I get off of Minecraft, eat a little bit more. Now it's 9 o'clock. Then I sit at the TV, either do some sort of chore, or I stay on the couch and I fall asleep. Or if it hits 9:30 and 10 o'clock and I don't want to sleep on the couch, I get up and I go upstairs and I go to bed. That is what I do every single day, this whole entire time. Nothing too crazy. During that time of watching TV, all I usually watch are either Among Us videos or Minecraft 100-day videos. I really don't watch anything that has flavor in it anymore. I'm starting to get tired of these Minecraft and Among Us videos. I've started watching How Ridiculous again. I got excited because I wanted to see what sound a 100 gram whoopee cushion made. Like I'm not getting the stimulation I need anymore. So I don't really watch things on Netflix like that unless it's the weekend. And even then it's either or on High School Host Club or Bromance or some underrated movie on Netflix. Can't really watch anything unless I have a feel for said show. I Care a Lot would have to be literally during like a week-long break of school because I don't feel like watching stuff that's going to make me question my morality.
Oh my God,
It
that's
makes
like
me
the number
nervous.
one thing I want to watch.
Yeah, it makes me anxious and it like freaks me out, and then I go into like a spiraling depression for like a week. So I can't watch stuff like that unless I'm sitting down and I have a continuous break for more than 2 days. So
That's fair. That's like primarily what I want to watch because I don't know, I enjoy being upset by entertainment. Like I want to watch like heavy shows that do make me question my morality. If somebody recommends a sitcom, I'm like, I'm never going to watch that. I don't care.
Yep. Well, I myself personally, when I watch stuff like that, my thing, the shows I like to watch where it question my existence. What's the whole meaning of life? You can't do this, and always.
yeah, that stuff makes me go into a depression, and that
Yeah, that
freaks
stuff
me
was.
out because my ADHD gives me too much surge of dopamine, which makes me question things, and then it freaks me out, and then I start having a panic attack because I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm turning 30 soon. Like, and I'm not even there. I have 20 more years left. But the fact that that runs through my brain is stupid. So I just can't watch stuff like that because then it like hurts my soul personally.
Honestly, I kind of like stuff like that because one of them, like one show, I was watching a bunch of. No, I was reading a comic. I was reading a bunch of comics that was talking about love, and I came to a conclusion: there's different forms of love.
Well, sure.
Well, obviously, yes.
No, not that kind of romantic love, not the absolute love where you love your cousin or something. No, this form of love is I like to call domination love,
Yeah.
where one party is dominant in the relationship of the other. I read.
Yeah. Domestic abuse cases. I don't know what you like. What are you talking about?
Sometimes I think that you shouldn't say things.
Other times
What you're explaining sounds like a domestic abuse situation
Yeah,
right
it
now.
doesn't sound like love.
It does sound like love. I don't think that's a real thing. That sounds like Stockholm syndrome. If we
I like you've been reading way too much of horror.
I think you're just reading something that you should not be reading at this point, if anything. What?
I'm concerned. The first thing we're gonna do is Kahoot for vocab tomorrow, but both Alexis and Alyssa are in the bathroom right now, so I'm just gonna wait for them to get back.
An eternity later.
But you know what I do recommend everybody to watch? Because I personally just think it's kind of funny to me. Disenchantment, like I'm gonna be really honest, that show is so dumb. Straight up the dumbest thing you could ever possibly watch. But it was made by the same person who made Simpsons and Futurama. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's not super funny, but it's kind of funny. And it's ridiculous. I'll say that because it's about them being in like medieval times, and this girl, she's an alcoholic, and she doesn't want to face the fact that she has to be queen, and then her mother comes out of nowhere and tries to kill her. Like that show is so.
Alyssa watches it. Alyssa watches it.
I love that
I
show.
love that show. That show is so funny to me, but it's so like stupid. I just don't understand like why it exists. You know what I mean? I think everybody should just. Yeah.
It's good and it's entertaining. It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
Not at all. And my favorite character, which I have to change because I've been questioning my morality and my existence, is Lucy. And that's like freaking me out, thinking, oh my God, I have the devil as my profile picture for Netflix. Like that, he is my favorite character, but Elfo, I relate to Elfo on a spiritual level more than anybody in that entire show for some odd reason. I
love Elfo.
Oh my God, he's the cutest little thing ever. You know what he is though? He's a pick-me boy. That's what Elfo is. He's a pick-me boy.
Oh my gosh, he's such a pick-me boy.
He's a pick-me boy, and I love Elfo for that.
What?
Cat has the exact same lamp.
Crazy. All right, we are gonna play. Oh, here we go. Here's Zane. All right, we're getting people in. We're getting people coming. It's all right. It is Kahoot, yes, because we have it is a Kahoot day. We have a vocab quiz tomorrow. And I've already posted the Kahoot on whatever that thing is that we use because I was thinking about it and figured I should go ahead, but we're going to play it together first.
If they ever get the voting thing for next year on whether or not we're going to use Canvas in the classroom, please.
Oh, it would be hands down. We did not vote this year. They told us we had to. And I think it's either everybody in the district or everybody in the state is doing it. I hate it. And I'm part of a couple of different teacher groups on Facebook. And one was like trying to figure out what's the best learning platform. They're like, we've done D2L, which is Trident, and it sucks so bad. They're like, is D2L or Google Classroom or Canvas or this other one I've never heard of better? And so many people are saying Canvas. I was like, Canvas sucks. Canvas is not easy to use. I hate it.
Yeah, Google Classroom is a lot easier to see.
Yes, and it's easier to like find submissions on. I guess there's like, yes, exactly.
Can you guys hear me? I can't.
Have so many restrictions. Like honestly, I need to go to get some writing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like I properly, I don't even have to properly like set it up and everything like
Yeah.
that. If we didn't have all the restrictions on our computers, like how we
It would be a lot
originally did
easier.
when we first got them the first year,
Yeah,
we would be able to have like it would be so much better.
so
We would
many.
get notifications, we would
I know.
hold the computers, set up the brightness to like our eyes be able to get into the settings and mess with the computer to like kind of personalize it because this is not something that we're on.
Yeah, exactly. You have to.
I
Stacey,
remember.
what did you say?
My Zoom is like doing weird stuff, but
Oh, okay.
Miss Carlson is making us use Google Classroom to like submit videos and things, and it just made me so happy to see how easy it was just to
So
like put things on there, and then you could just leave it and everything would be okay, and you didn't have to stay on that page. And if you left that page, and it would just automatically delete your work and all of your stuff was gone.
Yeah. Because we do everything in like Google Docs, Google Forms, everything, and
yes,
is automatically compatible with that. You have to go through so many steps to get it to work on Canvas, and sometimes it still doesn't.
oh my gosh. And you know they're supposed to like add that weird program onto Canvas where you can like take pictures and record videos in Canvas. And I've tried it and it's so dumb. It's literally like the dumbest thing ever.
What are you saying?
Oh, and back then they were like Google-based, so you can had like a basic like notebooks, and everything was based off of Google. You had to do everything.
That's so much better. Oh, that's so nice. I wish that was.
If we had more like control over our computers, I'm pretty sure we can set that, like go into our settings and set that as our default. But like honestly, Mr. Mike should offer a computer class on like computer education and how to get it. And, like, because a lot of us really use our computers like literally to like
A lot, yeah.
because we also have to kind of start using this as our personal.
Yeah,
A lot of us don't
I do too.
access to anything else.
Yeah, you have another machine, another device.
I know. I have my phone.
I don't.
But I get it for. I have a.
That's nice. Yeah. I need my own personal one. Like, this is so full of junk.
And also, if we ever like like how to do it, like, and the teachers and actually like again, if Mr. like actually offered a computer class, like organizing,
Mhm.
I was like that,
That'd be
being
really
able
nice.
to like set it to where it goes in the environment like that, I feel like hey, the students would get a lot more organized.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
it would be a lot more like.
Yeah, and probably like know how to do stuff better too. Just as far as like, I'm so blown away sometimes when people will like take a screenshot of a note and turn that in. Like that's the least effective way to do anything. But like if they had the background knowledge to know what's the easiest way, that'd be great. All right, let's start.
My network is slow, so you might experience delays.
Ugh, slow freaking network. The state or quality of being reserved or reticent in conversation. Diffidence, discomfiture, taciturnity, or derision.
Yeah, you gotta get out my
Sorry,
way.
sorry. Some people are very competitive.
Yes. Speaking of competitive, I'm trying to win this. So if y'all could just like not for me, please. Thank you.
Everybody got it right though. I
Gang. Let's go. I'm gonna stay up there.
close. To contemptuous ridicule or mockery, derision, conviviality, scorn, or opulence. Kahoo! Oh my gosh, y'all remember Carlton? Carlton would lose his mind over a Kahoot.
Oh my God, I hate it.
Running around the
Miss McClellan. So the years before, Carlton and I were in music theory together with Kevin. And you could ask Kevin this. Every time we would have a competition in class, whether it be like a game or something, it could never go right because Carlton always wanted to win. And then he would like try and call people out for cheating when nobody even cheated. Oh, it was just the worst thing.
Was that last year, Cece?
Yeah. No, yeah, it was last year. It was.
I heard about that. Like, I heard from other people in your class. They're like, Kevin's class with Carlton is just. They were like, we don't even want to play games.
It's the worst. It is the worst. I remember leaving for like break or something. I remember leaving for like a long weekend or something, and we had played a game that day, and I left so angry because of Carlton. I was like, I hate it here. It was the worst feeling ever.
I hope he has learned to rein that in a little bit since going to college. I ask his sister about that. They're like, is Carlton still insane when he plays games? To impose an unwelcome or unnecessary person or thing on. Foist, aver, evoke, or intrude.
Mess up, Cece. Mess up.
Never. I'm gonna stay in first.
Never.
Bro, Genesis. Do you remember playing games with Carlton in Kevin's class? Genesis could tell you how awful it was. And then me just being stubborn and not wanting to listen to Carlton could never work. I either had to be on a team with him or I had to be team captain or to do it. I could never just like
just play
it was
with
yeah.
Too much. To call forth or call up, to bring to mind. Oops. Sorry, guys.
I may have messed up.
Oh, Lord. Pretty good, pretty good. Y'all are doing pretty good overall. Oops, went too fast. Severe or strict in manner, attitude, or appearance, having extremely plain, simple style or appearance. It's a lot. Bleak, austere, inexorable, or stark. All right. I thought somebody would choose stark, and they did. I fooled them. Austere is the one that is our vocab word. Look at you. Look at you. Oh my gosh, y'all are literally 20 points away from each other, which in the world of Kahoot is a razor thin margin. Ostentatiously rich or luxurious or lavish. Taciturn, convivial, opulent, or austere.
It's okay. I'm coming back for my spot. It is completely fine.
Probably are.
Miss McClellan, we should play Jackbox one day.
Oh, Jackbox is so fun.
I love Jackbox. They have this
pay for them?
No, but I could probably find out. They have this new one in the new season where you're like, it's kind of like Among Us, but you have to like, there's one person like in control and they have to do certain tasks to prove that they're not the alien. And if two people who are the alien get past, then the whole team loses. And it's the best game ever.
Nice. I love the one that's like murder trivia.
Oh, yeah.
Birthday.
Tomorrow is my birthday.
Tomorrow's your birthday.
Yes. Mine and Johnny Cash's.
I actually would love to come in. Still can't though, because none of us are vaccinated or
That's fair.
so. But I definitely wish you a happy birthday. I'll even turn on my camera tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, that'd be great. I'd love to see your face on my birthday.
If I bring you like a bunch of balloons, will you be embarrassed?
No.
I got
It's hard to embarrass me.
Let's go.
Whoa. Still 20 points. To assert or affirm with confidence. I put that little picture in there because I made a reference about it that reminded me of this word.
Every time I think of Wizard of Oz, I think about in Dork Diaries in the 8th book where she like gets knocked in the head by Mackenzie and then she goes into the Wizard of Oz world and all of her friends are like characters from Wizard of Oz except for like Chloe and Zoe who are like Disney princesses. It's a whole mess. But
bigger margin now. Uh-oh. A feeling of unease or embarrassment, awkwardness, discomfiture, taciturnity, derision, or being a teenager.
I might have misclicked. I'm not really too sure. My finger and my nail were in the way.
Excuse it.
That's one is true.
Excuse
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I did not misclick. Oh,
Made them both right.
oh, yes.
Friendly, lively, and enjoyable. Evocative, inexorable, austere, or convivial. All right, pretty good, pretty good. We already had austere, so we know it's not that. Convivial. Oh gosh.
Oh, what is that? Almost 100 points behind? Oh my gosh.
Almost. Close. Yeah, okay.
Cece's on her phone. It's not fair.
Stubborn. Opulent, taciturn, inexorable, or relentless. Oh my gosh. I like this word.
Cece's on her phone. It's easier to tap. I have to lift this mouse a little bit.
Listen,
That is-
listen.
That's a good point. All right, almost all of us got it. How did it end up? Number
Let's
2,
go. Yes.
trash chore. Alyssa, second place.
What is this? First place? It feels so great. Okay, I'm done.
I saw trash chore and I thought it said trash core. And I was like, is that a new aesthetic that I don't know about? Trash core. Look, we did really well. 70%. We did very well. I heard you slept in the bathtub. Okay.
Oh, you want to talk about clean? Like floors?
This is on what do you call it? Canvas.
Frankenstein.
That's what I'm
What?
listening to. Yeah, we're reading Frankenstein in English 4 right now.
Oh. How is that
It's
going?
It's tough. It's tough. It is a hard book to read. But it's going okay. I'm honestly looking into how to publish an adaptation of it because it's just like it's not like in Middle English or Old English or anything. It's just hard to read. So I could adapt it and modernize it so it's just a little easier to read. So I'm looking into it. Okay, so we are picking up with chapter 6. The way I figure it, we've probably got 2 weeks left of reading if we're reading 2 chapters a week. But chapter 7 and chapter 9 are both longer than what we've been reading. So we might breeze through this one really quickly. I hope we do. But Ethan and Maddie's night together is over. He kissed her cloth or whatever. He
Being
proved
weird.
what a weirdo he was. And now we're gonna see what happens the next morning. He's gonna have to deal with
His wife,
his wife, that he was gonna get all this money.
the
And
one whom he married.
The one who he married willingly, the one that might be dying.
And who needs a divorce?
She's definitely
The
sick.
one who is petty on
The
top
one
of
who's
petty.
Yeah.
Okay, is it just me or I just really want Ethan just to get that divorce paper?
I would love nothing more.
They had divorce back then, but it was definitely like a big scandal if you got divorced.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
screw it.
Oh my God. Really quickly, speaking of divorce. So y'all know Kim and Kanye getting divorced, right? So
Yeah.
I was looking at my Google News just to like scroll and parade through because I get bored sometimes. And why did one like news like article say divorced man gets out of his car, or they didn't say man, divorced man, they said a man gets out of a car knowing he's about to be divorced and he's wearing sweatpants and that proves it.
What?
Why did they not give Kanye a name in this article? That's literally what it said. It was like, man gets out of car with sweatpants on, so we know it's real. What?
Hilarious.
I was really bothered by that. Okay.
You know,
But
divorce
since
is
we're on
not
the
that
subject, I saw the list of like reasons that they're getting divorced, and she accused him of banality, which just means he's too boring.
I don't know how you can be boring and try to run for president. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember the other things. That one stuck out to me. But I saw it either on like a late night talk show, or I don't think it was SNL. I don't know. Someone tweeted about it probably. Yes. All he would want to talk about was himself.
He's so, I want the nice word to use is eccentric. But he's so weirdly wild. I don't know how she could call him really boring.
If all he ever talks about is himself, I guess. And also, like, I don't know, Kim Kardashian probably has a higher threshold for what is boring and what is interesting than we do. Like, she's like, he never flies me to Paris at a moment's notice anymore. Like,
well, yeah, because you just got robbed in Paris. I feel like we should all.
Maybe it's the fact that they're no longer speaking in like
It could be.
You know what? That's true.
I do remember. I don't know. Their whole house is kind of insane. It's like it's not decorated well. It's just like
It's
so
weirdly
weird.
plain. Like it has so much, but it's like weirdly plain in their house.
Yeah, it's weirdly plain.
It's
I don't like it.
awful.
It's
And they're
like I saw
and
before and after pictures from when they renovated, and I was like, they ruined this place.
oh my God. And then I feel so bad for Northwest. Speaking of Northwest, I've seen a picture of her recently and she is so beautiful. I was like, oh my God, she's grown up so much. I would divorce Kanye on the fact and sole reason that they let that little girl stand up there on that stage in that fashion show and sing that little awful song that she sang, talking about, oh my God, it was the worst song. And I feel like they should have been better as parents for letting their child do that, because that little girl is going to have to live with that for the rest of her life. It's on the on the internet now. I could not support that as a parent. I'm sorry. I will support my child through everything. But if you go up on stage and you sing about dab over some fashion that looks like a ball of lint, I don't want you anymore. I can't. I'm sorry. That is just the worst. I feel so bad for her. Yeah.
All right, let's start reading. We got about 20 minutes, and this is one of the shorter chapters, so we might actually be able to finish it. Cece, do you want to read?
Yes.
Okay.
The next morning at breakfast, Jotham Powell was between them, and Ethan tried to hide his joy under an air of exaggerated indifference, lounging back in his chair to throw scraps at the cat, growling at the weather, and not so much as offering to help Maddie when she rose to clear away the dishes. He did not know why he was so irrationally happy, for nothing was changed in his life or hers. He had not even touched he had not even touched the tip of her fingers or looked her full in the eyes, but their evening together had now given him a vision of what life at her side might be, and he was glad now that he had done nothing to trouble the sweetness of the picture. Okay, he had a fancy that she knew what had restrained him. There was a last There was a last load of lumber to be hauled to the village, and Jotham Powell, who did not work regularly for Ethan in the winter, had come round to help with the job. But a wet snow melting to the sleet had fallen in the night and turned the roads to glass. There was more wet in the air, and it seemed likely to both men that the weather would milden toward afternoon and make the going safer. Ethan therefore proposed to his assistant that they should load the sledge at the wood lot, as they had done on the previous morning, and put them off the teaming to Starkville till later that day. This plan had the advantage of enabling him to send Jotham to the flats after dinner to meet Zenobia, while he himself took the lumber down to the village. He told Jotham to go out and harness up the grays, and for a moment he and Maddie had the kitchen to themselves. She had plunged the breakfast dishes into a tin-dish pan and was bending above it with her slim arms. Her slim arms bared to the elbow, the steam from the hot water beating her forehead and tightening her rough hair into little brown rings like the tendrils on the traveler's joy. Ethan stood looking at her, his heart in his throat. He wanted to say, we shall never be alone again like this. Instead, he reached down his tobacco pouch from a shelf to the dresser, put it in his pocket, and said, I guess I can make out to be home for dinner. Why didn't he just say that line before? I think that would have worked perfectly. What is wrong with him?
They're like, they clearly have these feelings for each other that they're just not talking about. And like at this point, he's acknowledged it. Like he kissed her freaking fabric or whatever it was, but he won't just say like, that's not even like coming on to her. We'll never be alone again like this. That's just probably a fact. It's not like a super racy thing to say to her. Why
it
didn't
could
you just
open up
say it?
it could open up so many conversations. Like
Exactly.
you had a chance and you blew it. I don't want to hear from Ethan ever again. Like these are very opportunable.
Okay.
I am so disappointed. Like
Really just pushed, like,
I know.
want that she was making and kissing. Like, what is
It's
that?
so
That is
weird.
not-
I don't even like. I don't. Ugh. I don't know. I don't like the way he. Exactly. I don't like the way he talks to her. I don't know what she sees in him. Like I know that they said the thing earlier in the book about how like she's kind of simple, doesn't really know anything, and he teaches her stuff, and that's attractive. I get that, but if that's all you have, that's not enough. Like if everything else you say is awkward and uncomfortable.
I am
I know, be like, get off my cloth, man. I'm trying to finish up this part.
so upset.
She like pulled it away too. She's like,
She did pull it away. Does she even like him?
She answered,
this is the hardest
This is weird.
thing that ever happened.
I know.
Like, that is something
I'm like that's a huge red flag, Maddie. Let him go.
she answered, all right, Ethan, and he heard her singing over the dishes as he went. I said, all right, Ethan. I guess
All
I
right,
can make it home for
All right.
dinner. All right, Ethan. Okay. As soon as the sledge was loaded, he meant to send Jotham back to the farm and hurry on foot into the village to buy the glue for the pickle dish. With ordinary luck, he should have had time to carry out this plan, but everything went wrong from the start. Oh no. On the way over to the woodlot, one of the Greys slipped on a glare of ice and cut his knee. And when they got him up again, Jotham had to go back to the barn for a strip of rag to bind the cut. Then, when the loading finally began, a sleety rain was coming down once more, and the tree trunks were so slippery that it took twice as long as usual to lift them and get them in place on the sledge. It was what Jotham called a sour morning for work, and the horses, shivering and stamping under their wet blankets, seemed to like it as little as the men. Oh, okay. It was long past the dinner hour when the job was done, and Ethan had to give up going to the village because he wanted to lead the injured horse home and wash the cut himself. He thought that by starting out again with the lumber as soon as he had finished his dinner, he might get back to the farm with the glue before Jotham and the old twirl had time to fetch Zenobia from the flats. But he knew that the chance was a slight one. And it turned on this state of Rose and on the possible lateness of the Bettsbridge train. He remembered afterward with a grim flash of self-derision what importance he had attached to the weighing of these probabilities. As soon as dinner was over, he set out again for the woodlot, not daring to linger till Jotham Powell left. The hired man was still drying his wet feet at the stove, and Ethan could only give Maddie a quick look as he said beneath his breath, I'll be back early. He fancied that she nodded her comprehension, and with that scant solace, he had to trudge off through the rain.
He's just like reading too much into things sometimes.
like that she nodded her head. That's
I know. Like that's how you know you are obsessed with somebody. She nodded her head. Oh my god, hard eyes. Like no, it's not. Yeah, like she's just acknowledging like her job. That must mean something. So stupid.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that one character in like all the Nickelodeon Disney Channel shows that like has that weird fascination with the one said character until one thing goes
Yes.
wrong. Oh my god.
That's so accurate.
Disgusting. Okay. He had driven his load halfway to the village when Jotham Powell overtook him, urging the reluctant sorrel toward the flats. I'll have to hurry up to do it, Ethan mused as the sleigh dropped down ahead of him over the dip to the schoolhouse hill. He worked like 10 at the unloading. Okay, what does that mean?
Worked like 10. I don't know what that means. He
Okay.
worked like, like he worked as hard as 10 men would have worked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He worked like 10 at the unloading, and when it was over, hastened on to Michael Eady's for the glue. Eady and his assistant were both down street, and young Dennis, who seldom
Deigned.
To take their place was lounging by the stove with the knot of the golden youth of Starkfield. They hailed Ethan with ironic compliment and offers of conviviality, but no one knew where to find the glue. Ethan, consumed with the longing for a last moment alone with Maddie, hung about impatiently while Dennis made an ineffectual search in the obscure corners of the store. Looks as if we're all sold out, but if you'll wait around until the old man comes along, maybe he can put his hand on it. I'm obliged to you, but I'll try it if I can get it down at Mrs. Homan's. Ethan answered, burning to be gone. Dennis's commercial instinct compelled him to aver an oath. There are a lot of vocab words in this.
I know.
Compelled him to aver an oath with what Edie's store could not produce and would never be found at the widow Homan's. But Ethan, heedless of this boast, had already climbed to the sledge and was driving to the rival establishment. Here, after considerable search and sympathetic questions as to what he wanted it for and whether ordinary flour paste wouldn't do as well if she couldn't find it, the wooden Horman finally hunted down her solitary bottle of glue to its hiding place in a medley of cough lozenges and corset laces. Oh, so he found it. Okay. Okay. I hope Zena ain't broke anything she set store by. Oh, okay. She called after him as he turned the grease toward home. The fitful burst of sleet. What? Oh, the fitful bursts of sleet had changed into a steady rain, and the horses had heavy work, even without a lead behind them. Once or twice, hearing sleigh bells, Ethan turning his head, fancying that Zena and Jotham might overtake it. But the old sorrel was not in sight, and he set his face against the rain and urged on his ponderous pair. The barn was empty when the horses turned into it, and after giving them the most perfunctory ministrations they had ever received from him, he strode up to the house and pushed open the kitchen door. Oh, sweet baby. Okay.
Yeah, it's a quick chapter.
Maddie was there alone, as he had pictured her. She was bending over a pan to the stove, but at the sound of his step, she turned with a start and sprang them. See here, Matt, I've got some stuff to mend the dish with. Let me get at it quick, he cried, waving. Oh, is she already home? I'm sorry, I was reading ahead.
Here we go.
Let me get at it quick, he cried, waving the bottle in one hand while he put her lightly aside, but she did not seem to hear him. Oh, Ethan, Zena's come, she said in a whisper, clutching his sleeve. Oh, they stood and stared at each other, pale as culprits. But the sorrel's not in the barn, Ethan stammered. Jotham Powell brought some goods over from the flats for his wife, and he drove right on home with them. Oh, okay. He gazed blankly at the kitchen, which looked cold and squalid in the rainy winter twilight. How is she? He asked, dropping his voice to Maddie's whisper. She looked away from his uncertainty. I don't know. She went right up to her room. She didn't say anything? No. Ethan let out his doubts in a low whistle and thrust the bottle back in. What are y'all doing? Just fix it now.
Fix it. She's upstairs.
Oh my God. Okay. Don't fret. I'll come down and mend it. No, are you stupid? Don't
He's
fret.
so stupid. He's so stupid.
Mend it in the night, he said. He pulled on his wet coat again and went back to the barn to feed the grays. While she's upstairs, go fix it, because if she wants to come down and use it, by the time she comes back down, it'll be dry. Like,
right. And I mean, like, she does say she never uses it. Like Maddie said, this was a wedding gift. She puts a lot of store by it. She doesn't use it. So she's probably not going to. But like, yeah. Come on, Ethan. Haven't you ever read a book or seen a show or anything? Like, this doesn't work. If you do it in the middle of the night, just like do it while you can.
And she said she didn't even know how she was. And so that is key. That if she just went automatically upstairs, she doesn't feel well. So fix it, because she won't. This man is so irritating. You're so stupid. Why are you so dumb?
I hate him.
Ethan let out his doubts in the lowest whistle. Oh, while he was there, Jotham Powell drove up with the slate, and when the horses had been attended to, Ethan said to him, "You might as well come back up for a bite." He was not sorry to assure himself of Jotham's neutralizing presence at the supper table, for Xena was always nervous after a journey. But the hired man, though seldom loath to accept a meal not included in his wages, opened his stiff jaws to answer slowly, "I'm obliged to you, but I guess I'll go along back." Ethan looked at him in surprise. "Better come up and dry off. Looks as if there'd be something hot for supper." Jotham's facial muscles were unremoved by this appeal, and his vocabulary being limited, he merely repeated, "I guess I'll go along back." To Ethan, there was something vaguely ominous in this stolid rejection of free food and warmth, and he wondered what had happened on the drive to nerve Jotham to such stoicism. Oh, okay. Perhaps Xena had, I just realized what that word meant. Perhaps Xena had failed to see the new doctor or had not liked his counsels. Ethan knew that in such cases, the first person she met was likely to be held responsible for her grievance. Okay. When he re-entered the kitchen, the lamp lit up the same scene of shining comfort as the previous evening. The table had been as carefully laid. A clear fire glowed in the stove. The cat dozed in its warmth, and Maddie came forward carrying a plate of donuts. She and Ethan looked at each other in silence. Then she said, as she had said the night before, "I guess it's about time for supper." Okay, here's my thought.
Tell me.
So, obviously, because Jotham was obviously verbally attacked by Xena. There's just no doubt about it. What if the doctor was like, "I can't do nothing to fix you. You just gonna have to just go ahead and pass." And she wants to use the dishes as her last, like, kind of moments here.
I mean, that would make sense.
Oh,
Even, go ahead.
I'm so concerned. No, go ahead. I'm just like concerned for everybody's safety.
And I actually like don't remember specifically how things happen, so I know kind of the broad strokes of it, but I don't remember the specifics. But she could, like, if they've talked repeatedly about Maddie leaving, because they can't afford to keep her if she's gonna be, if Xena is so sick, and if she found out that she's really sick, she might be like, "Well, we can't afford to keep her anymore, so let's have like a nice final dinner and take down her pickle dish."
Oh my goodness.
I think she's gonna take down the pickle dish guy.
I feel like she's gonna take down the pickle dish. There's just no doubt about it.
Yeah. He may have. That's a good point. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, why did it say, let me just look back for a second. Why did Jotham bought some goods over from the flats for his wife, and he drove right on home with them? I'm a little confused about that, but like about why she's home already. And clearly Jotham has something to do with it, but I don't really get it. I don't remember where everyone was supposed to be. So, also, my thing is, like, why does Maddie not have make anything but donuts? I mean, like, I could speculate, but she's eating donuts again.
I feel, okay.
2 nights in a row? That's decadent.
She's so simple. The word is simple, because I can't even call her, like, dumb. I think
she just doesn't know anything. She's just like so easily guided around. Like, genuinely, I feel like if Dennis Eady put his mind to it, he probably could get her to fall in love with him, because she's so
easily
like, gullible. Like, easy to beat around. Like, put in some effort, Dennis.
Oh my gosh. I'm so confused. I'm so confused by this chapter. Like, why is Xena home so early? Well, I mean,
so early? Because it's a realist story. They have to be mad at each other, and the weather's against them, and everything's against them.
I know.
But that's not realist. If he did it like he said and left before Jotham, technically he should be back. Even with all of that going on, he had like maybe like a 5-minute head start ahead of them, even with all of that stuff going on. So why is she back so early? That does not seem realistic to me.
Well, and he had gone to the store to get glue after he left Jotham. So however long it took, like we don't know.
That's what I mean. Like even with all of that, like the store not having any, and then he had to go and meet that like widow woman to get the glue. I feel like he should have been there before her.
Yeah.
And not even like super like fast, like super ahead of her. Maybe like just now getting in right before she like kind of like walked through the door, you know what I mean? Like she'll be like, oh, why are you what? Oh, I was just out there taking care of the farm or whatever. Like that does not seem realistic to me, like at all. There's something had him. I am so confused.
It actually feels a lot like TV shows that we see now, where like people are sneaking around or like having an affair or something. And they're like, it's okay, my wife won't be back for 4 more hours, and then like she comes in and she's like, oh, I got an earlier flight. Like it's always something like that.
But they canceled on yeah, I mean, it does happen in real life, but not as often as you would think. Like that's only in an off chance situation. So why is she home so early? That is not a naturalist or a realist story. I don't want to hear
I agree
it
with you about that actually, because it's very like standard to see it in fiction, and like fiction wraps up a lot more cleanly than things do in real life, or like things can be kind of contrived for fiction. That's not the way it happened in real life. But you're right, like this is realist literature. We're supposed to be realistic about it. It is supposed to be a lot more like real life.
I'm so
again
bothered.
Have you ever been off on a good day?
What, LeBron?
Have you ever gotta like work on a good day and you just come home and something bad happens?
Yes, but he already had a bad start to the day. That's what I'm saying. That is why I believe that our paths are laid out already before us. Because if you already had a bad start to the day, you're gonna have a bad ending. But not as bad as that. That is just not a realist situation. That is not real. There's no way that could happen. Literally, there was like maybe a 1 in a 10 chance that could really happen. And the fact that it happened is it's fictional. It's not real. And I hate the fact that it was written, and I want to sue the writer. Even if they're dead, I want to sue their grave. I just
can't sue a dead man.
Yes, I can, and I'll find out a way I can do it, because that is incorrect. This should not be labeled as a realist story. This I can't agree with this.
Crap. Dude. No. I'm a self-person believe that happens in real life. Like someone comes out of nowhere.
That's not real. That is not real.
I do that sometimes. I just come out of nowhere. And people are like, when did you get here?
No, because you were already there. That's the thing. That is a realistic thing. She was not already there. She just wasn't already there. She should not have been there as fast as she was there.
And there's a picture.
She was making her way back by the time that he left the house. But even then, he was still sitting in the house warming his feet because his feet were wet.
Okay, it's time to go. I gotta let y'all leave.
I'm suing.
See ya. Oh, that's funny. Okay, Zane. Let me just kind of like explain it a little bit more to you and see if you have questions. The first thing is that the first page doesn't matter, because that's stuff that we did out loud in class together, like the passage 1, passage 2 thing. So you're just looking at the the pages 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
So you can look up the lyrics, but honestly, like the lyrics that you need are at the top of each box. I'm going to share my screen for just a second here. So like with this one, you're looking at the lyrics, take me out tonight where there's music and there's people who are young and alive. So you would go back through Ethan Frome and find a quote that reminds you of this in some kind of way. I would think with that one, like maybe when something to do with the dance that he picks her up from, because that's really the only, like there's music there, the young people are there, that makes sense. So bye, Isaiah. So there, you're just gonna kind of like explain why you think those two things work together, like why the quote reminds you of the lyrics.
Yes, ma'am.
And then here you'll analyze the meaning and the tone. So like what emotion does it kind of evoke?
Mm-hmm.
And then you
Okay.
just do that for each of these sets of lyrics, which should be like fairly
Okay.
fairly
I,
easy to.
I don't know. I was confused on it because I was like, I don't even know why I was confused about it. It was just I needed like more clarification, really. Just
Yeah,
so
no, that's
okay,
fine.
because I was trying to get it in last night, but I had a track meet last night. So can I get it in? Can I get it in by like 11 tonight? I know it'd be points off already, but as long as I
Yeah,
get it,
so
yes,
you
ma'am.
can still like you can still absolutely get a passing grade. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's fine.
Alrighty, thank you, Miss McClellan.
You're welcome. Just email me if you have any more questions.
Yes, ma'am. Have a nice day.
You too.